So, just when you thought Belly's love triangle couldn't possibly get messier, here comes Season 4 to rip open every wound, every secret, and every single heart all over again, because apparently, peace in Cousins Beach is illegal. Let's just pause for a second. Did anyone really think Belly's story was done after Season 3? Of course not. If anything, that bittersweet ending was like throwing gasoline on a fire that's been waiting to explode. Season 4's trailer doesn't just tease more drama, it screams it. The summer isn't over, and neither are the choices Belly has to make. Because let's be honest, did she ever really choose between Conrad and Jeremiah, or was she just running from the storm until it caught up with her again? And now, that storm is rolling back with a vengeance. The trailer gives us those flashes, those quick, heart-racing moments that make you question everything you thought you knew. Conrad's eyes, filled with that mix of longing and regret. Jeremiah's smile, trying so hard to look unbothered but betraying just enough pain. And then there's Belly, caught right in the middle like always. You can't help but wonder, has she actually grown since last summer? Or is she still that girl trying to figure out if she's strong enough to love one brother while letting go of the other? Because here's the thing, this time, the stakes aren't just about teenage heartbreak anymore. It feels bigger, heavier, like the whole foundation of Cousins Beach is about to crack under the weight of these choices. And don't even get me started on the family drama. Season 3 left us dangling with unresolved grief, fractured friendships, and promises that nobody seems capable of keeping. Susanna's absence is still a ghost that haunts every moment, every whispered word, every memory. The trailer doesn't let us forget it either. It pushes that loss right back into the spotlight, reminding us that none of these characters are free from the past. How do you move forward when every corner of that beach house carries a memory that could break you all over again? It's not just Belly who's trapped. It's all of them. Conrad, Jeremiah, Laurel, every single one of them is chained to a summer they can't seem to escape. But here's the kicker. What if this time, the story isn't about choosing between two brothers at all? What if Season 4 is about breaking the cycle that's been swallowing them whole? Because let's be real, how many summers can one heart survive before it shatters completely? The trailer doesn't give us answers, oh no, it plays dirty. It gives us glimpses, it gives us tension, it gives us that slow burn promise of something explosive waiting just around the corner. Belly walking down the pier, Jeremiah clenching his jaw, Conrad staring off like he's already lost everything. Are these signs of reconciliation? Or are they the first sparks of a war nobody's ready for? And here's where it gets juicy, the betrayal. Because you know there has to be one. These characters can't go a single summer without secrets coming to the surface like waves crashing at high tide. Whose secret is about to break wide open this time? And when it does, whose world is it going to destroy first? The trailer is teasing us with all the right moves, dangling the possibility that everything we've been rooting for could collapse in a single heartbeat. So tell me, when the story continues, will Belly finally make a choice that sticks? Or is this just the beginning of another summer that leaves everyone shattered all over again? Cliffhanger. Because here's the question that nobody wants to ask. What if this season isn't about who Belly ends up with, but about who she ends up losing forever? If Section 1 was all about setting the stage, then let's dive deeper into what this trailer really suggests about the emotional chaos that's coming in Season 4. There's this undeniable shift in the air. It doesn't feel like the dreamy, nostalgic summers we once knew, does it? The tone is darker, heavier, almost as if the characters themselves have outgrown the innocence of Cousins Beach. Belly is no longer just the girl caught in between two brothers. She's now carrying the weight of every decision she's ever made, and it shows. The trailer hints at that subtle but unshakable truth. Every choice has consequences, and this time, those consequences might burn more than they heal. And speaking of choices, let's not forget the Conrad factor. Conrad, with his eternal mix of brooding charm and quiet torment, is practically the poster child for unresolved pain. We see him in the trailer, still looking like the world is pressing down on his shoulders, still holding on to Belly like she's both his salvation and his undoing. Has he truly learned how to love her without pushing her away? Or is he destined to repeat the same pattern of pulling close only to let go at the worst possible moment? Conrad's silence speaks louder than Jeremiah's words ever could, but silence doesn't heal broken hearts. It only festers. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly where Season 4 wants to lead us, to the breaking point of Conrad's character. But then comes Jeremiah, the golden boy who's always been framed as the safe choice, the one who offers sunshine when the storm rages. Yet if you look closer, the cracks are showing. That smile in the trailer isn't carefree anymore. It's guarded, almost forced. Jeremiah has always been the brother who gave everything without expecting much in return. But what happens when the one thing he's fought for, Belly's heart, remains just out of reach? The tension in his eyes hints at something deeper, something dangerous. Could Season 4 finally reveal a darker, more complex side to Jeremiah, one that doesn't settle for being second best anymore? After all, love triangles don't survive without someone breaking the rules, and Jeremiah looks like he's done playing nice. Now, let's zoom out for a second, because the trailer also hints at something beyond just Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah. Cousins Beach itself feels different, almost haunted. The house, the pier, the boardwalk, they're no longer just backdrops for teenage love stories. They've become battlegrounds of memory, grief, and betrayal. Laurel, who has always been the grounding force, is struggling too. Her presence in the trailer suggests that even the adults aren't immune to the storm that's coming. After all, Susanna's shadow still lingers, and grief doesn't disappear with time. It mutates, it grows, and it consumes. If Season 4 is really about the story continuing, then it's not just Belly's story anymore. It's about how every single person connected to Cousins Beach is forced to confront the ghosts they've been avoiding. And let's not pretend the trailer didn't deliberately drop those quick, blink and you'll miss it hints of new faces. New characters, new conflicts, new temptations. They're coming. Every summer introduces someone who threatens to shift the balance. And if these new arrivals carry secrets of their own, then the delicate triangle we've been obsessing over could collapse into something much messier. Because really, what's a continuation without escalation? If Season 3 was the heartbreak, Season 4 feels like it's building toward destruction. So here's the uncomfortable truth the trailer whispers beneath all the pretty shots of waves and sunsets. No matter how badly we want a happy ending, the road there is going to be brutal. Every character looks like they're on the verge of breaking. Conrad with his silence, Jeremiah with his forced smiles, Belly with her guilt, Laurel with her grief. And if one of them snaps, what happens to the fragile connections holding them all together? Because maybe the real question isn't who Belly will choose, but who won't survive the choices she makes this time around. By now, the picture is getting clearer. This isn't just another breezy summer at Cousins Beach where love triangles play out under fireworks. Season 4 feels like it's pushing every single character into corners they can't escape from, and the trailer is practically daring us to watch them unravel. What stands out most is the shift in Belly herself. She's no longer simply torn between Conrad and Jeremiah in that dreamy, youthful way. Her expressions in those quick glimpses reveal someone carrying regret, fear, and an almost suffocating sense of responsibility. She knows her choices in the past have left cracks in both brothers, and now it seems the time for avoiding the fallout has run out. Belly looks older, wiser even, but also more haunted. And isn't that the cruel irony? The girl who once symbolized innocence and change has now become the one weighed down by heartbreaks she can't undo. And let's talk about the brothers, because if the trailer tells us anything, it's that their bond might finally be reaching its breaking point. Conrad and Jeremiah were once united in grief, in brotherhood, even in their love for Belly, though that love was always a source of friction. But now, their faces, their body language, their silences, they speak volumes. Conrad looks like he's holding back everything he wants to say, keeping his pain locked up in the same way he always has, while Jeremiah seems ready to explode, ready to fight for the love he believes should finally be his. You can practically feel the tension between them, as though the next step isn't just about competing for Belly's affection, but about tearing apart whatever's left of their brotherhood. And if that bond breaks, if the Fisher brothers finally cross a line they can't come back from, what happens then? Does Belly become the reason two brothers stop being brothers? But here's the thing. The trailer also plays with our expectations. For years, fans have argued endlessly about Team Conrad versus Team Jeremiah, about who Belly should end up with. But what if Season 4 flips the script entirely? What if Belly's journey this time isn't about choosing either of them? There's a subtle defiance in her demeanor, a suggestion that she might finally be ready to step outside of the triangle that has defined her life for so long. The look in her eyes doesn't scream love-struck girl anymore. It screams woman on the edge of a decision that could rewrite everything. Could Season 4 be about Belly finally realizing that her happiness can't be built on the ruins of two broken hearts? That maybe she doesn't have to choose at all? Or would that decision cost her both of them forever? Of course, love isn't the only game being played here. Let's not ignore the fact that every character is still carrying the weight of Susanna's absence. That grief has never really healed, and the trailer reminds us it's still lurking in the shadows. Laurel's presence shows us just how much that loss continues to affect everyone. If the adults can't fully move on, how can the kids? Cousins Beach itself feels more like a shrine than a vacation spot now, every corner soaked in bittersweet memories that refuse to fade. And that grief, that lingering pain, is what makes everything else, every argument, every kiss, every betrayal, feel that much heavier. Because when you're already drowning in loss, one more heartbreak can be the thing that finally pulls you under. But the trailer doesn't just linger on the past, it teases what's coming. Quick flashes of arguments, tears, hands letting go, and doors slamming shut. There's this overwhelming sense that something irreversible is about to happen, the kind of moment that doesn't just shift relationships, but redefines them completely. Will it be a betrayal, a confession, a goodbye? Whatever it is, the tension is unmistakable. And the scariest part? Nobody looks like they're walking away unscathed this time. And so, we circle back to the question the trailer refuses to answer. Is this summer the one that finally ends it all? Is Season 4 not about the continuation of a love story, but the end of one? The way the trailer teases us, the way it dances on the line between love and destruction, it makes you wonder if the story continues is less of a promise and more of a warning. So, when the final waves crash on Cousins Beach, will Belly walk away with love, or will she walk away with nothing at all?